Hi all, Satyam here, and this is the 7th video in our Typescript series. Now in this video we are going to see what are functions, how to use them, what are type annotations for parameters, what are type annotations for return types, and what is contextual type annotations. So let's get started. So what is a function, right? Well, in simple terms, a function simply means you have some piece of code that does something, okay, and you took that piece of code, you actually placed some boxes around the code, and you have now that code stored at some place, okay, and that place is called function. You basically take a piece of code and you just put it in a function so that you can use that piece of code again and again and again at different places in your program without copy pasting. And so it does provide a lot of benefits. So let's get into the computer screen and see how the functions actually are created. So here in the computer screen I have a website called playcode.io. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. So here I'm just using an online environment to basically run the JavaScript code. And yes, we are first of all going to run the JavaScript code and see how functions are created in JavaScript and used there, and then we are going to move towards the TypeScript. So suppose that we have a few variables. Let's just say chocolates is equals to 88, and we have, let's just say, age is equals to 99. Okay, and now we want to calculate something. So suppose that there is a person called Mike. Okay, and the Mike actually eats around 88 chocolates per year, and his age is around 99. So I want to calculate number of chocolates he ate during his entire lifetime. So all chocolates, if I could write it properly, all chocolates is equals to chocolates multiplied by age, right? It's a very simple formula, or it's a very simple program, you can say. It simply gives us the total number of chocolate that Mike ate. Now let's just say we also want to calculate the same thing for other people. Let's just say there are Rajesh, okay, there is Rajesh, Neha, Sneha, Radha, and let's just say Krishna. Okay, so there are many people that actually eat chocolate and have a certain age, and we want to calculate the same thing for all these people. Now of course one way is that we actually write the same code for everyone. So for Sneha, or let's just say Radha, for Radha we wrote the same code again, okay, chocolates multiplied by age. Okay, then for Krishna also we wrote the same code again, so chocolates multiplied by age. Yeah. Okay, so we wrote the same code again and again twice for two people. Okay, so this is one way of doing it, and notice that we actually have to create more variables because this chocolate is valid for Mike. So for Radha and for Krishna we have to create 4 more variables, 2 for chocolate and 2 for age. And by now I think you must have noticed how messed up this is, because first we have to create a chocolates variable for Radha, then we have to create the chocolate variable for Krishna, then we have to create age variable for Radha, and the same thing for Krishna, right? We are creating more and more and more variables for the same functionality, that is multiplication, right? So how about we could just extract this functionality into a function? We can just take this functionality and put it into a function, right? If we could do that, we can just use the function name everywhere, and we will not have to just mess around with all the variables. So let's just try to do that, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to create a function on top. So function can be created with the help of function keyword. So function, then I'm gonna write the name of the function. Let's just say calculate chocolates. I'm gonna provide 2 parameters. Now parameters are simply variables, okay, but when you're using them to input something into the function, you call them parameter. So let's just say the name of my parameters are chocolates per year, that is 18 per year, okay, and the age of the person. So we have our function here, the calculate chocolates, and we have our parameters here. Now we can actually extract this functionality, that is multiplying the 2, right? So I can just write here return, or give me the result back, return chocolates per year multiplied by age of person, right? So we have extracted the functionality here. Now we don't actually need to write it like this. We can actually use a function called calculate chocolates. So calculate chocolates, and then here we can actually pass the number of chocolate that Radha eat per year and her age. So suppose that Radha eats around, I don't know, 6 chocolates and her age is around 20. Okay, so we are able to pass the custom input into a function. The same thing we can do for Krishna also. So Krishna, so not Krishna, sorry, chocolates, and let's just say the Krishna is around, I don't know, like he eats around 50 chocolates because he is naughty, and he is around, like, I don't know, like 25 years of age. Okay, Krishna eats a lot of chocolates. So now we are able to actually calculate total chocolates for Radha and Krishna both without creating any new variables, right? We just wrote the function itself. We just use the function, right? Because we have extracted the functionality in a function, and that's basically the use of the function, right? Now let's just say I decided later on in my life that I want to change the functionality. I want to actually multiply everything by 8 also. For some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason I decided to do that, right? Now I have to do that only in one place, here. I have to do that just here, and now everywhere else it will automatically reflect, or it will automatically just update, because we are using a function name. Otherwise, if we're actually copy pasting this functionality everywhere, we would actually have to multiply everything by 8 everywhere, okay, in every file, every piece of code, right, wherever we have used this functionality. So that copy pasting is a headache, and functions actually save us from all that headache. Also, they give us ability to input everything, get the output, many things, right? So if I just start console logging everything, so console.log Radha, similarly console.log Krishna. So as you can see that Radha eats around 960 chocolates in her lifetime, and Krishna ate around 10,000 in his lifetime. Krishna is like on a completely different level, man. This guy. So yeah, I mean, that's how functions are created, that's how functions are used. Now understand that here in the function, I'm just like using a very small functionality, right? But you can do a lot of functions. You can actually get data from database, then perform some computation on it. You can also get data from, I don't know, like APIs, right? Get data from remote APIs using fetch, okay, and get data from file storage, okay. Like there's a lot of things you can do inside a function. Basically, you can do whatever you want inside of a function, calculate, create whatever you want, and then just get the value. If you want to get the value, you can also just say return null or something else. So I mean, that is always the case, right? So that's basically how functions are. That's basically how you create functions and how to use functions. Now let us get back into the TypeScript world. So here in my Finder, or you can say in my TypeScript YouTube folder, I'm going to create a new folder for today, and let's just call it functions. Okay, basics, function basics. Yeah, that's a better name. So it is right now, it is empty. I'm just gonna open the Visual Studio Code also, and drag and drop this function basics folder here. Now yes, I trust the authors, and now we can actually start by creating files. Let's just say I create index.ts, because it is a TypeScript file. We are going to see what are the additional things in TypeScript for functions. So TypeScript is all about checking types, okay, right? So of course you must have guessed that we are going to do something with types of functions, right? Basically, what are the input types and what are the output types. So let us try to create the same function here also. So if you want to create a function in TypeScript, you have to use a function keyword. It's a special keyword from TypeScript, and then you can actually just give the name. So you just say all chocolates, okay, all chocolates, and inputs will be chocolates per year and age of person, okay. These are the two variables or two parameters basically. Then we can actually return the computation or the result, okay. The chocolates per year multiplied by age of person, okay. This is our result. Now let me just make it a little bigger so that you will be able to see it properly. Now here you can see that we have a function and we have parameters. Now if I actually hover over the parameter here on chocolates per year, you can see that the chocolates per year parameter have the type any, right? And similarly, age of person also have the type any, okay. Now return statement, I mean, return statement will be of course of type any also, because right now everything is any, so return is also of any. So basically the reason it is happening is because we have not provided the type for chocolates per year, right? So the computer does not know whether it is going to be a number, going to be a string or what. So it is automatically saying that it can be assigned any. Okay, it is also automatically assigning any type to this parameter, but we can actually tell the TypeScript that hey, it is going to be a number. Okay, always. Similarly for age of person also, we are going to say it is going to be a number. And this thing, okay, this thing that is telling the TypeScript that the parameter will be of this type is called parameter annotations. Okay, very simple. It is called parameter annotation. Very, very, very simple, right? Now this thing will automatically become a number anyways, but we can also explicitly tell the TypeScript that the return thing from this function will be a number. So how do you tell TypeScript what will be the return or result of that function, right? What will be the type of it? So here, after the parenthesis or the round brackets, what you do is you put the colon and then you write the type of result. Okay, and in my case I'm going to return a number, so I will just write number here, and this will be your return type annotation. Very simple, right? It is called return type annotation. It's a very simple. So this is parameter type annotation, and then this will be your return type annotation. Simple. Here you are telling what will be the type of the return value from this function, and here you are telling what will be the type of the inputs that this function will take. Very simple, right? So now let us use it, right? So var radha is equals to, let's just say, all chocolates, and I'm gonna give something wrong input. Okay, so a string of 6 and then 9. Okay, so now here you can see that we are getting a squiggly line, or we are getting an error that the string is not assignable to type parameter because number, because the type of our parameter is number, and we are going to assign a string to it right now, and that's why it is giving us an error. So we can now fix it easily, right? Because we know it because of TypeScript. So that's basically how TypeScript functions work. Now there is one more thing that is called contextual annotations, not annotizing, contextual annotations. Okay, so contextual annotation simply means that the TypeScript will figure out from the context what should be the basically annotations, what should be the type of the inputs or outputs from a function, and this works with anonymous functions. Now anonymous functions are functions that do not have a name. Remember that almost every function will always have a name. Okay, because it will not be possible to create a function without a name. But in special cases where you are actually passing a function to another function, you can create the function as an anonymous function. Okay, so for example, let me just create a names array. Okay, so var names string array. Okay, it's a string array is equals to, let's just say, I don't know, Radha, Krishna, and I don't know, Yashoda. Okay, simple, Yashoda. Now we have a names array of string with 3 names inside of it. Okay, now let's just say I want to actually get an array that will have all these 3 names but in uppercase, completely uppercase, no small letters or lowercase letters. So let me just create a new array, like just say uppercase names is equals to string array is equals to empty array. So right now I have created an empty array. Okay, now I want to populate this array, or I want to fill this array with uppercase values of the names array. So what I can do is, I can, on the next line, I can use the function called for each. So names dot for each. Okay, so names array actually have a for each function already inside of it. Okay, so what this for each function does is, it takes a function as an argument or parameter, and then it runs that function for every value that is present in the names. So that function will run for Radha, then it will run for Krishna, and then it will run for Yashoda. Okay, and this is one of those special cases where you can actually pass a function inside of another function, because for each, it expects you to give a function here. So you can simply write the function directly here. Okay, function, and now we don't need to give it any name because it's an anonymous function. Then I'll just put parentheses or round brackets, curly brackets, and here now I can actually write the function. So what I want to do is I want to do this. Okay, uppercase names, I want to push a new value in this array. Okay, and the new value will be, well, name, something called name dot uppercase to uppercase. Okay, sorry, okay, that is the issue, sorry. So first of all, here I did not give any input, right? So I'll just write name, because the name value or the name parameter will take Radha, then Krishna, then Yashoda, okay, one by one. So name dot to uppercase. Okay, so what we are doing is we are taking each value Radha, Krishna and Yashoda, and we are basically converting them into uppercase words, and then we are storing each word into this uppercase name. And now notice here, okay, if I just hover over the name, you can see that it is already saying that it is of type string. Okay, but we have not provided any way or anything like this. Okay, we have not provided this. So how does it know? It is using contextual typing or contextual annotation. So basically the TypeScript knows that names is of string array type. Okay, the for each will take each value from that string array, and since it is a string array, each value should be of type string, and that is why it is saying that the name, okay, or these values must be of type string. Okay, so this is called contextual typing. Okay, basically it takes the information in the program and then try to figure out the annotation or the type of a particular parameter. Now that we have written all this code, let us try to console log also. So console dot log, okay, and I'm gonna log the uppercase names, also names. Okay, like let's just log console log both. So let's just run the TypeScript file with the help of TSC or TypeScript compiler. So TSC index.ts. Now here on the left side you can see we have an index.js file generated for us. Okay, and now we can actually run this index.js file with the help of node. So node index.js. Okay, and you can see that we have names array here, and then we have uppercase names array also. We are able to console log everything. Now here in our TypeScript file you can see that we are getting an error, okay, on all chocolates, and it is saying that duplicate function error implementation, sorry. So basically the TypeScript is saying that the same function is created 2 times or more than 2 times. Okay, but we can see in our file that we have only created this function once, right? So why does this error comes? And this error comes because of this index.js, because there is an all chocolates function here also. But now you can say that this is a JavaScript file and this is a TypeScript file, right? They are both different files, and I'll tell you that TypeScript is nothing more than a superset or extension of JavaScript. So basically TypeScript is basically like, or basically same as JavaScript, just with type checking. So like sometimes it becomes confusing for these extension or these tools to see if this is actually a correct error or not. So I mean, these kind of things are actually handled by our frameworks like Next.js, Remix, Astro, and all of that. They usually handle these kind of things automatically behind the scenes for you. But since we are learning all this stuff from scratch, you will see these kind of things all the time. Okay, so if I just delete this file, if I delete this file here, okay, move to trash, then you can see that the error is gone. Okay, so yeah, we have seen quite a lot of stuff in this section. We have seen how to create function, we have seen how to use function, we have seen parameter type annotation, we have seen return type annotation, we have seen contextual typing, we have seen anonymous functions. So yeah, quite a lot of stuff, and that's what I wanted to talk about in this section. Now in the next section we are going to talk about object types. So till then, bye.